Hi everyone, it's Sam here from Frugalisama. Thank you for joining me tonight. This is my first video of 100 days of sewing and just a little bit of an announcement to what I intend to do. For anyone who's joining me for the first time, if you could please subscribe and you will get notifications of when new videos go up. So tonight I'm just going to chat a little bit about how I intend this 100 days of sewing to go and what I see for the future for it. Number one, I realise quite a lot of people at home now, perhaps not working or looking for a new hobby and not a lot of cash about, and thinking that sewing might be quite an expensive hobby to start. So really what I'm trying to do is to make people realise how accessible sewing really is. It's not an elitist hobby. You don't have to have the fancy fabrics and the best machine. You can start with the very basics and just make your own clothes and be original and creative as you like. You don't have to have fancy clothes. You don't have to walk around in a Superman dress if you don't want to. You can have the basics, or you can be as flamboyant as you want. That's the beauty of sewing, is that it gives you the permission to be who you want, really. So just a little bit about me and my sewing journey, as they call it. So I started sewing around about 30 years ago. I was pregnant with my son. I asked my mum if she would buy me a sewing machine because I didn't really want to invest in a lot of maternity wear that I was only ever going to wear once. And I just thought I'll give it a go. I did a little bit of sewing at school, not a great deal, probably from the age of about 17, 18, something like that. I was in a sixth form. And I did a little bit of sewing at school, so I perhaps knew how my way around a machine a little bit better than you know, just getting a new machine. But my mum didn't sew. Her mum didn't particularly sew. She did have an old Singer sewing machine. So essentially I am self-taught. Don't want to give you the wrong impression. The sewing that I did 30 years ago was sort of more sporadic than what it is now. I've probably sewn in the last 10 years much more consistently. Just to show you how far I've come since I started sewing again, I've just dug out one of the oldest things that I could find in my wardrobe, and that is a sorbetto. I'll just show you that here. I think this might be round about 10 years old, something like that. So this is when I sort of got back into sewing, and I don't wear this anymore. I don't really know why I still got it in my wardrobe, but it's quite difficult to get rid of things that I've sewn. So that's I think that's going to go into the recycling pile. I've just tried it on tonight, and the bust darts are probably about an inch too high, so they sit there. I didn't know anything about lowering bust darts when I started, and I think that I just brought that just to show that you don't know everything when you start sewing. It's a huge learning curve. Every day is a learning day in sewing, as I'm often saying to my friends on Instagram. So it's worth just sort of knowing that where I am with my sewing. Don't compare yourself. If you know, or anybody else. I mean, I'm not pretending that I'm perfect at sewing, but don't compare yourself to what everybody else is doing. Just do you, and we'll get there. So 30 years ago I probably did a lot more home furnishings and a little bit of baby wear, maternity wear, and then as the years went by I kind of I did special occasion wear, fancy dress, curtains. I sewed the outfit that I went for my interview for my job in 1993 for, and I also sewed the outfit that I went for my job in 2003 for. But in between times I didn't do a great deal of sewing. It's not really until the last 7 to 10 years, perhaps when the first sewing bee came on, that I got a little bit more enthusiastic. And then the online community started then, really. So you know, if I didn't know how to do an invisible zip, for example, I would come to YouTube and find out how to do an invisible zip. Discovered blogs, probably Tilly and the Buttons was one of the first blogs that I came across that was specifically sewing related. So the online community has been a big part of my sewing journey, and I just feel like I want to give something back a little bit really now. There's an awful lot of enabling going on in social media where people perhaps feel like they're missing out. The old FOMO, as they call it, where they have to have the certain patterns and they have to have the certain fabrics. So really I want to, number one, show people that it doesn't have to be an expensive hobby. Number two, create a nice little community here on this channel where we can chat to each other and bounce ideas off each other, give each other hints and tips, and then perhaps I'll record a few videos and then perhaps you can have input as to what I do in the future with it. I want to start with, so if people haven't sewn before, then they can get all the basics together and do their very first sewing. But if you already have all the basics and you can sew, then there might be I'm sure there's going to be some information in there about saving money and what to do to save money whilst you're sewing. And just get the best out of the sewing materials as well. My husband's a cricketer and he's got a t-shirt that says all the gear, no idea, and I think sometimes sewing can be a little bit like that, where you've got the fanciest machine, you know, 120 stitches on it or whatever, and you use 3, or you've got a cover stitch machine or an overlocker that's still in the box at the bottom of your wardrobe, so you don't get it out. Or you know, you might find that knits frighten you, or certain fabrics frighten you. It's just fabric. We just need to get stuck in and encourage each other, really. So that's the second one, the community. And the third one is for myself, really. I think if I come on and vlog more regularly, then perhaps I'll be a little bit less nervous or nervous sounding. I'm not a particularly nervous person, but I probably lack confidence a little bit, or a threefold thing rather. So hopefully I will get a little bit more natural on the camera, and we'll have a nice little community, and hopefully people can pick up some hints and tips on a sewing basis. So what I intend to do is film 5 times a week, so Monday to Friday I will film. To start off with, what I will do is I will publish videos on a Friday and a Wednesday. So this is my announcement video. Well, I'll do 3 videos. Starting from the 1st of July, we'll do a video every weekday for 100 days, and we'll see where it takes us. Hopefully then we can just have a little bit more input and just chat to each other, and you can tell me what you want to see from me, and if I can do it, I will. I'll hold my hands up now. I'm not a sewing teacher. I've no teaching experience whatsoever, but neither are a lot of people on YouTube. It's just, you know, I've got quite a lot of experience specifically sewing without a lot of money, and I will also be completely honest now, I'm not skint now, but I do realise that quite a few people will be. The times that we're going through at the moment have not been easy for anybody, I don't think, and if you're looking for a new hobby, I think sewing has a lot to offer. You know, it's one of those hobbies where at least you've got an end result. You've got if it's not clothes that you're interested in making and it's furnishings, you can make your own curtains without spending an absolute fortune. Cushion covers, anything at all, bags, whatever it is that you fancy. So if you can already sew, you've probably already got a machine and some bits and bats. But what I will do with the first video is to talk through obtaining machines and equipment on a budget, and then I will go through to patterns and fabric, and that will be the first week, and that will be published on the Friday the 3rd of July. and then we will be going right up into November for 100 days of sewing. So I'm really looking forward to this. I hope everybody else is. If you can subscribe to the videos, and that will give you notification. Just to start off with, I really didn't think that people would want a video every day, but we'll see how that, which way where this takes us. If you want a video every day, then that's what we'll do. If you don't want a video every day, and keep it at twice a week. And what I'll do is I'll put them in a nice little playlist so that you can find them easily, so and label them quite nicely as well. I'm a library assistant by day, so I'll make sure that they're clearly labelled what's within each video, so that if you're not interested in particular bits, you can pick and choose. If I do a particular technique on a particular day, it'll be easier to find without it being within a longer formed video. So I intend to keep these quite short and sweet, really. So yeah, that's quite exciting. So if you can subscribe to the videos, and let's see if we can get enough subscribers so that we can have little votes in the community segment of YouTube. So that's it. Yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll see you later. Bye.